I don't think we need to read through the minutes, do we? Okay. Oh, beautification starting at 9:15. Beautification Commission, and we're waiting for Sarah Schwartz. All right, we don't have a quorum, so we're just going to discuss.
Okay.
Okay.
Tracy, I think you're up.
Okay, treasurer's report, kind of a quiet month, not a bad thing. We got a final bill, as you see. The only change was on the line account, because nothing else was paid out of anything. Expenses to the line account, we had hanging baskets, that was the watering and removal for the baskets, that was for the, like October invoices. So those got paid $27.90. Elder billed us for the final cleanup of those last few gardens, and it was $1,170. And then I sent out the beds and borders check for $4,240, and that was for half. That was the half deposit, not counting freight or delivery. So
Okay.
that leaves us with a closing balance of $14,836.83.
Tracy, can you remind me what do you remember what the total cost is of watering the baskets?
It's actually in the budget that Sarah will go over.
Okay,
Off the
great.
top of my head, I don't remember what the number was that we
Okay.
came up with.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Did you guys did you all get that Google document I sent last night?
Yes. I didn't get it yet.
You're not, okay, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm like really
I
not
have
great
it,
with
Tracy.
technology.
What's your second?
So I just wanted to make sure
I know
that
you don't have
it's
that.
sent
I didn't
correctly.
look at my email
So,
last night.
huh?
I didn't look at my email
Oh,
last night, sorry.
I just wanted, no, I'm not worried whether you, I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure it actually physically worked.
Okay,
It did. I read it. Thank you.
okay,
You're
good.
welcome. Super helpful.
Alright.
I was having my 6th grader teach me how to use a Google document. So this is crazy.
Well, you're lucky you have one. I don't.
I know.
Yeah.
I am lucky. I am very lucky, yes.
I've been the marketplace queen, selling things, getting rid of, just doing
that's so
major
good.
cleanup
I
in my
do that
house.
too. I love that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, anyway, so that's where we stand.
Alright.
Social media. Have we started?
Yes.
Yeah, we started, Sarah's on her way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what number are we at?
Number 4.
Okay.
The only thing for that was that Melissa and I were not able to get that contest idea up and running.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think
it
we
was kinda short
thought of it
notice.
in, the second week of November, so it was just too short a
Yeah.
notice, so we're gonna do it for next year.
That's a good
Right.
idea.
You know, also I was thinking about that when you pointed that out, so many people do that for the holidays. What if we did it in the spring to kind of like liven the,
Yeah, it
The
could
mood
be
or
other
fill
times
space.
of year.
I don't know.
I was also in Westport yesterday and I noticed, I think I brought up before, that on their Welcome to Westport signs, they put corn husks in the fall. And then yesterday I noticed they had ornaments hanging in their various adopt-a-gardens, just like those non-shatter, or the shatterproof Barcana balls, which was
That's so
just a nice
cute.
touch as well.
That is a nice touch.
Yeah.
Think about that for next.
So that's it from us.
Okay.
We actually have an agenda item, for report on weeding and pruning. Well, I have to say, I have an old lady who came through.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
Oh, she came through again, a second
did?
time. She walked into the front of the building and she said, "Who can I talk to about this? The front of this building is a disgrace."
This building?
So
Hope she
I-
wasn't talking about our planters.
So I said to her, I said, "Well, in what sense?" And so she goes, well, the plants are dead, there's leaves
This was
everywhere.
before
There's,
the Christmas.
yeah. Well, it's partly before.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me get to it.
Okay.
And the tags are still on the plants, and then so I said, finally I jumped in and I said, well, the tags are on the plants for the simple reason that this is their first winter. We want to make sure that they make it through this winter, and in the spring, assuming they've made it, the tags will come off, otherwise we'll know what we need to replace.
Right.
So she goes, ah. So, and then I said, I was standing with Tony Campanella when she was going up one side and down the other, two of us. So then she said, and those planters, somebody just put those wreaths on top of all those dead leaves. And I said, actually, I beg to differ. I said, I weeded out all the petunias and got all the leaves out of there before the wreaths went down. So then, and I just didn't feel like arguing with her. You know, she was 80-something years old. And, but I was not having a good day when she hit me. And so then she said, the leaves, and I looked at Tony, I said, yes, the leaves, Tony. Can we please have these leaves blown? You know, we just got new carpeting on the first floor, and I said, this stuff all gets tracked in. So they're supposed to do it, but it's been a week now. Progress in slow motion. And then she also mentioned the hose that's in the corner. I said, Tony, get the hose and put it downstairs for the winter now, please. And maybe in the spring we can get a hose reel so it's
Yeah.
not as unsightly.
And it's easier to water when we have
Yeah,
this,
'cause that hose has to go. That hose, as you know, is such a nightmare. It kinks, it knots, it's the worst.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I did mention to Tony, you know, I said, yeah, the hose, I said, you know, we gotta get the leaves blown off. And I said, she's right, the front of the building looks really messy right now. And then I'm thinking, I wonder if she looked up and saw the nice wreath on the door, or, you know, anything else that we've done, that nice stuff, you know, the flagstone, you know. So, and I did hear nice comments from, as a side note, they did that Veterans Day little service at the center, at the circle. And people were like looking and saying, oh, this looks really nice. And I was like, oh, that was good, you know, when you're here, you know, you have one extreme versus the other. You know?
Yeah.
Were you
So-
able to get Public Works to do the white Christmas lights on the
I'm still
tree?
working on it. I don't think it's gonna happen for this year because Ed said, Tony was telling me that the power isn't there. So it's a matter of
Oh.
finding, and they're not gonna dig up the road
Right.
for that one outlet.
Of course, yeah.
So, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
But I'd like to see if maybe next year if we could do maybe solar or the battery
Yeah.
lights.
Oh, that's a nice
Solar
idea.
lights.
That's great.
That's a great idea.
You know, and if I mean, all of a sudden it's like, I'm kind of in a panic because it's like, oh, Christmas is in less than 2 weeks now. I gotta get moving here, so.
I did ask about the flagpoles, but it's not a winter project.
Yeah.
To be
Power
power
washed.
washed. So I think that's more of a spring.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So I'll follow up on that, because they do look like they could use some.
yeah, they definitely could use a little cleaning
Right.
for sure, so. So anyway, so I was just telling them about the old lady who went up one side and down the other about how the front of the building was a disgrace.
I've been thinking about her and
She came
that,
back.
and she did, okay, so I talked to Ed about that and asked if we could get some, leaf blowing every day. He said we could not, that they were too busy, with that, so instead I was thinking, what do you guys think about, I don't know if it's possible, but we basically need an electric leaf blower and just someone who goes out and blows. Is there like a receptionist or anybody who would be able to do that?
Trust me,
No chance? Is there anybody else? Not you. No, I'm not looking at you.
No, not
I'm
you,
not
not
looking at you.
I go out and weed, like take a 10
No,
minute
no,
break.
I'm not
and go
looking at
pull
you.
weeds.
I'm not looking at you.
I've brought my blower over from my house, and I have blown from time to time, but.
Or maybe if it just sits there, no, I'm worried that if it sat there,
Yeah.
it would
Well,
get stolen.
I think if we hound them on this, because that should be blown off, especially with the leaves down right now.
Yep.
And they get wet, and then they get clumped, you know, and it's just a mess. But
Or
they
here's my next
take
suggestion
such
then.
beautiful care of ball fields. It's like you
So-
can't.
Here's my
10
next
minutes.
suggestion. Elder, can we just pay him the month of November to come by daily and blow the leaves?
No,
Why not?
he won't come by daily to do that. Maybe
Okay.
weekly.
Weekly?
Is Public Works doing it weekly, or what's their interval?
They're doing it as seldom as possible. You know,
So, yeah.
It's a,
How about we start with asking Elder as often as he can, and we'll, obviously we pay, and then that's just, we'll have it in our budget. And I'll add it as an item for next year, and this year maybe we'll just use it, I mean, well, this year's over. So for next year, I'll
Well-
put it in as an item.
I'm trying to
And
push
then-
back and have Public Works do more of the work at Town Hall. As they should.
Understood. So, but maybe when the town administrator is looking at the budget and sees that we have that in, she might say, well, why is beautification paying for this? Maybe that's something to, I don't know, but I'll put it in.
Yeah.
How about that as an
Okay,
option?
well, there you go.
And that way, if
Alright.
someone complains, we can say, thank you for your feedback, we're listening, we're gonna come up with alternate solutions. You know, it's what taxpayer dollars are willing to pay for them right now. You
Well,
know,
that's
we
the
can
thing,
ask.
somebody made a comment to me about, oh, the taxpayers don't wanna pay for all this work at Town Hall. And I'm
Mhm.
like, really? I'm pretty sure they do in all the other towns.
Of course.
Mhm.
Why is it we can buy an $85 million piece of property, but we can't blow off our sidewalks in
Right.
front of our town hall?
Right.
I'm not really here outside of our meetings. Is it the walkways that are covered with?
It's the
Dry
walkways, the
leaves.
staircases, the lower walkway down, that pin oak tree at the bottom of by our Habitat Hill, by that bottom of the staircase. There are always acorns down there. You know, you've got elderly people
Right,
going
what
to
about like
Mather
a
by the
safety angle?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so, and I thought, oh, even with the new carpeting, maybe that could be another thing. Oh,
Mhm.
the stuff's all getting tracked in on the new carpeting. I'm trying every angle I can, but it's just, I keep coming up with a wall, and occasionally it will get blown off. When it doesn't get blown off, I mean, I'd be happy if it was even once a week, you know, it would be
Mhm.
something. So,
That feels like something town hall should be providing.
Right, once a
would think
week
so.
seems.
You mean
Yes.
Public Works?
Yes,
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
that feels like that's outside of our,
Yeah.
Agreed,
I
agreed,
agree.
but I'm
I
just trying to
agree.
come up with a solution, I mean, I asked, and the answer was not right now. we
Have there
can't,
been
so.
other complaints besides this one woman's
Oh,
or?
I mean, other people have made offhanded comments, but I don't know that anyone's sent a message up to the Board of Selectmen or anything like that. But
Well, I'll add it to our
ever-growing list.
ever-growing list of requests for next year. Apologies that I'm late today, sorry about that, guys. Where are you in our list?
Where are reading and
Okay.
reading?
Perfect. Any updates? Right, not much.
It's been quiet. I mean, we did get the flagstone put under the,
Yes,
yeah, we
Yes.
saw
that
that,
looks great.
Yeah.
Underwear.
under the two planters by the front steps. So those are now on the flagstone. I made sure I got that done before Melissa came in and put all her stuff so that if they tipped, they wouldn't knock all of her stuff over, so.
thank you.
Yeah, but the urns look pretty.
Thank
Really
you.
nice.
I'm sorry for the delay, I actually was not only my busy time of year, but I also have a strange kidney infection that's not going away, so I have been like uber delayed on everything. That's the reason that I had the delay on getting the planters done, so I apologize.
No,
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 next year
they
will
look
happen.
They look
gorgeous.
amazing.
They look
Well,
gorgeous.
yeah, I mean, it's our first year really doing something with the planters, you know, and they will be easier next year too if we put the ilex in the middle.
Well, I was gonna recommend actually, I wanna know what your guys' thoughts are. The ilex is looking a little sparse. I'm wondering if we should replace with boxwoods, something fuller in the spring, just to give it a real like.
Yeah.
Because even when I was trying to zhuzh up the ones that aren't the main ones, like the ilex is very sparse in there.
They really
I
need to get
noticed it on
pruned
the
too.
couple I walked by.
Yeah, they're very sparse looking, and there's not really much I can do to make those look better, because they're the centerpiece. So I think we either replace with boxwood or replace with small evergreens, or,
We did
In
at
the
one
spring.
point have those trees in there, remember?
Yeah.
Those, they were like miniature,
yeah, that would be lovely. I mean, those can be
Yeah.
decorated all
yeah.
seasons. We could put pansies around them in the spring, we can, put cabbages around them in the fall. I mean, for Christmas they're perfect, and they're more full, and they tend to last longer.
I
You can
like
always-
the idea,
yeah,
but
you
let's
can
see
always
how
move
our.
the ilex around too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think if
Yeah.
our budget allows for it, it sounds like a great idea.
We can do it in the spring.
And we can look at that in spring, right? And see
Yeah,
how things are
absolutely.
looking.
I'm just
Okay,
saying
great.
that right now I'm not thrilled with the way that they look.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, they look better than they have.
well,
They
and,
look great,
and,
so.
and guys, I work at the senior center, and the seniors are always commenting on how nice it looks, and they love all the stuff that you did. Yeah,
makes me
so
feel
people
happy.
really do notice,
Mhm.
and they really appreciate it.
Well, and I saw in that Darien magazine mailer, the selectmen took a picture, like flanked by the
Yeah.
fall planters.
With the leaves on the steps.
Oh, Jesus. Your old lady's having a fit.
So is this old lady. The two of us have lunch together. But
All right, should we move on to item number 6, the adopted gardens? Okay, so item number 1, draft list of businesses
Yeah.
to solicit in January. How's that going?
It's great. So I sent it out last night on a Google document, and I recommended that we all, that's what I asked if I went through or not, because I'm really not technical.
Yeah, it did
I got
go
it,
through.
yeah.
Me too.
Everybody, okay, you guys got it, okay. Okay, so I recommended that, can we all take a moment here and download Live Darien, Connecticut? Does everyone have that?
Yes.
Okay, so this app is like, it's just like genius. And so that's basically, it's every single business that's in Darien, Connecticut, with phone numbers, with addresses, with descriptions of the business. Now, when I created that Google document, I got through like 560 of them, and then I have to finish the rest. But I figured that would give us a good start, but I'll keep updating it as we keep going along. I've given us a lot of space to work with. And I think what we can do is, as we break up that list, we can just like write little notes next to it, say like, this is who I talked to.
It's
this-
an app?
Yeah, it's a Google, yes, the app is Live Darien, Connecticut.
Who knew this is?
Connecticut spelled out?
No, just
Yeah,
CT. Here it, this is what it looks like.
Download the app.
yes.
That's it
Okay.
right there.
Okay, yes, okay.
So if everyone can download that, then, because my list that I wrote just is the name of the business and the phone number. And then if you guys, however we break it up, all the addresses are right in there, and it's all listed in alphabetical order. So really, it was just, I didn't want to duplicate efforts, but still, I gave us the Google document that we can keep our notes on.
Terrific, thank you.
Sure.
Item number 2, Alicia and landscaper pricing.
Yes, I have not, yesterday was his deadline to get it to me. I spoke with him, he's not quite done, but almost done. So hopefully I get it later this week, so I don't have anything to review at this meeting.
Okay. And the signs, Colleen?
I got a price from Signs of Success, it would be $12 to $13 per sign if we want to put those temporary signs
Okay.
in. However, I think I'm just wondering, with this fabulous list that you just sent of all these, local businesses, do we really want to put the signs out, or just see if we can get the businesses first, or who's going to stick with their gardens that they already have?
Mhm.
Do we know yet? Does anybody sort of?
Yeah.
I do, I've kept it
Yeah.
a secret.
Yeah, exactly. Do you wanna jump into
Why are we gonna do temporary signs? Why not go right to the good ones? Like, that's just more work.
Well,
and
these are to market it, like adopt me over the
If
next
they're open,
like 5 months.
if that space is open.
Yes, and I think it would help as businesses if we say, if they have a list of available ones to also, when they're driving to identify it.
Got it.
But just to help advertise them
So I should
being
probably
adopted
do on
in
a,
the spring.
if I was really dorky, I'd do it like a little map and say this one's free and this one's already taken. A lot of the people that I spoke with on the list, which I can go through each one, but we know we have like 16. Probably 10 of the 16 I've spoken with, and the other ones just no calls back. Everybody wants a new sign right away. They all got my letter. They're like, but nobody did anything about the letter, so it's like the phone call was the right thing to do.
Okay, good.
Everybody was the only one that caused a problem was the Darien Board of Realtors, because then it has to be approved, and I was like, well, put it on for their approval. So a lot of people, I said, in January, we will get back to you exactly with this sign, whatever we know what we're doing, whether if it's
It's a permanent sign, is that right?
Well, I didn't know we were gonna do a temporary, whatever we're gonna decide on.
They want to see so 10 of the 16 want to see what
They just
their
want a new
new sign
sign.
will like,
They
okay.
don't care what it
But
looks like.
they know they
keep
have
it,
to
they have to
pay,
pay
they know they'll
first.
have to re-sponsor?
Well, I didn't know
Okay.
what to tell them, so I
Okay.
kind of just kept them, I'll be back in touch in January.
Okay,
We're wanting, I just really wanted to know, do they want to keep the garden space?
okay.
And we're redoing it a little bit due to the town restructuring, da-da-da-da. Oh, great, so I thought that was good.
That's great. Okay, but
And-
they don't know they'll have to repay, they'll have to pay more money
No,
for
but
it.
I don't
Okay.
think a sign is gonna hurt these, I
Well,
think
they
they're
have to
all.
sponsor
like
the entire
$2,000.
garden.
And I know, but then they also, I said in January, we'll let them know what we're gonna wanna do, who's gonna take and maintain, what is our criteria in maintaining the garden? And, they were like, great, everybody was, the only other one that was really, paw print, she was okay, I mean, she's a stickler no matter what. Growing Concern was fantastic. Regency Center Office, which is actually the Erdstadt Biddle Builders. Great, they want to continue. Richard Jones, yes. Mateo Landscaping, he's fantastic. And then, who was the other one that was really good? Richard Jones, I said, and Irene from the Darien Board of Realtors. She's going to get back to me because it's got to be approved.
Okay.
Well, they'll probably have to wait for approval till they know the
Mhm.
cost in the
So do
spring.
I know, did I look on the map which ones are still open? No, I didn't get that map out.
They're all available.
I know.
Yeah.
So then to promote those ones that are still open and free?
Well, right now, they're all free, because even though current ones on the list haven't paid in years, so they're all available.
To renew, okay.
Yes, or to.
But we did say that we were gonna give them right of first refusal,
Yes.
so we really should not offer them those garden, especially if they've expressed interest.
Right,
We
but
should not
based on this
offer those.
timeline I shared from the last meeting, we
Mhm.
won't even be doing that until March, so, because we've got to wait for pricing, approve the pricing, all of that.
Well, if he comes in with pricing in the next week, hopefully. What's to say we couldn't move ahead of timeline if we get some pricing? We could start reaching out to people.
What do we think the pricing will be?
Probably around like $2,000 for the first year because of planting and maintenance, and then the second and third year around maybe like 800. So total would come in around 3,000 for the 3-year sponsorship.
Because not one of them asked me, they were, wondering what the price was. And I said, we'll come back to you, in the new year. Which it kind of striked me that
I'm
not,
surprised.
I know, not one.
I think
So I
that
kept it
may
in
be
the dark, like I didn't bring it up, I just said we're gonna have new criteria, some newish, and I will make sure in the new year, reach out and let you know.
It may be because they haven't paid in so long, they just kind of
Yeah.
thought they got a sign for
That's
nothing.
for free.
like, why
That's
not?
That's what I'm
right.
thinking.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm not, we'll see. We'll see how interested they are when they have to find out they have to pay.
It's not that much for a whole 3 years,
I know.
1,000 a year,
I know.
Yeah.
promote your business, I
I know.
guess.
Okay, well, that's great, thank you. We sort of skipped over number 4. This was actually something we were gonna talk about last time, interim garden adoption by DVC members. Jackie,
We have some, you're doing the town hall and I think you're looking at the fire station.
Yep.
I thought, well, I'll take Nearwater and Coast, and then when I went out there with my shovel, they showed up. So I
that's
think
right.
Foster's really wants to keep that space.
That's
They were-
right.
And I said, can you just recenter the roses, because they're kind of cattywampus, so they centered them and cleaned up, and I think, I did Google them. They're far, I see you may have an old number for them, but I think they're in Fairfield or even
Okay.
Easton.
great.
I think they're gonna wanna
Easton.
keep that space. Yeah, did you call them?
Yes, but I didn't get back in touch with them, they didn't get back.
And the email that I had sent them actually got bounced back. I think they had a firewall up and didn't like it, so.
I did find them on Google.
I did too.
Because I was
yeah.
thinking about calling them before I went
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I do think they're still up and running.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And I
yeah.
know Colleen talked to the sign people about, what would a temporary sign look like? And I think they said it would be so small that for your larger places, it may get lost.
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about. If we only have 5 or 6 that are open, is it exit 13? Because that's it'll get lost. No one will see it driving by. You don't walk there.
Agreed. I love the idea of the temporary signs if we need them to market the spaces. No need to spend the money or go
Right.
through the effort if we don't need. I
I
mean, we
agree.
probably will have to market some of these spaces there. And I'm
Can't we then
imagining.
just go around and choose, like, who would be a great vendor, like,
Well, that's the thing. Maybe we could just start
Or
calling around. These are the
There are
open spots.
there are certain people on the list that you would call and certain people you wouldn't. In fact, as I got down to like 500, I was like, oh, those people aren't gonna sponsor this
Yeah.
garden, you know,
Right.
like, as I started like choosing.
Yeah.
Because there's certain people that we would assume would want their names out there. Like, I'm sure Palmer's will sponsor a garden, I'm sure Nielsen's will sponsor a garden, I'm sure the Garden Center will sponsor a garden, you know, I'm sure
but I
like.
kind of want
Well-
new sponsors, like, those
Yeah,
are
well,
just like,
Nielsen's is new, right? Nielsen's would be new.
yeah.
We've gone to Nielsen's before, though,
Yeah.
and they
I
haven't
just
wanted
think some of
to.
the
What about
new
Michael
stores-
Joseph's? Or,
I think some
mean,
of the new places, the new stores would be much better, because it's
Sam the Salemite, she's
Yeah.
born and raised
Yeah.
in Darien. I
Sure.
mean, she's a wonderful entrepreneur. Rosie, what about Rosie from Everything is Rosie? She's a Darien resident. She's got a beautiful business. I mean, she, most likely, we could approach her. I play tennis with her.
Darien
Yeah.
Toolbox always seems
Darien-
involved.
I mean, what about,
Charities.
does
I agree.
Darien Sports Shop sponsor? I mean, they're like Darien
I don't think they
institution.
have to do anything, I mean, they just got that corner
Yeah.
space.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that space where you're facing Whole Foods,
Uh-huh.
right? And doesn't
Yeah.
David have that spot?
Yeah. Darien.
Everybody wants that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great
But
spot.
David's gonna put irrigation into that, so he's gonna make it look nice. So I
Yeah.
feel like we do need to kind of hold that
Yeah.
space for him.
Yeah. There's
All
lots
right.
of people that we can start with though that would.
Yeah.
So I guess as soon as we get pricing, we can then
Go down the
start
list.
basically going down the list. We probably should give right of first, so I'd say the steps are get the pricing, give right of first refusal to all those people that you've already spoken to. And then we'll know what's spoken for, and then we can start going down the list and making calls
Very good.
to sponsor other gardens. Great.
So I guess we'll decide that next meeting.
Amanda,
when we
did you
start.
I
reach
think
out
so.
to the Powers Quadrant by chance? Because they always.
Which number is that one, hold on.
Well, that's the one
No.
that's over by Pear Tree Point Beach.
Okay, no, I know,
That was X'd off of our
oh,
list.
okay, the Darien,
But
okay,
they have a sign.
yes,
They had a
okay,
sign.
yeah, he was not nice. That was one that was not nice. That's not good. And he goes,
You must be a rear admiral.
yeah. I just remember he was saying, oh, well, he wouldn't first give me the mailing address to mail the letter. And then I said, give me the email. And I got the email and, oh, he said, if you have to send it to my home address. So I sent it to his home address. And I've got that, but then it got returned because, yeah, it's sitting at home still, that envelope is still on my desk. It got returned to me, I forget what the reason was. It's not because of a mistake, it's some really funny, silly, like, mistake on it. He wasn't nice, but I only remember is he wasn't nice about it.
Tracy, did we
So,
say to
I
drop
don't-
that garden, not to have anything to do with it?
I
Yeah,
don't think it's necessary
Uh-huh.
because the Parks and Recs did that whole planting along that stretch
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
I don't, yeah.
So
Okay.
I would just drop it. I was just thinking if they had a sign,
We
maybe.
can still offer it. I think
Yeah.
that was just decided over text by whomever replied.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
opinion is to
yeah.
keep it. And if someone wants to adopt it and pay for it and keep it nice, why not? Rather than just relinquishing it from our portfolio.
Yeah, let's see how many people show interest. If we don't get much interest, maybe that's the last one to
Yeah.
offer out. And if we get so many people that want to get involved, maybe we throw that in, we offer planters, I don't know, maybe we can, we'll see how
It's
it
a
goes.
little bit of a harder sell because it has like probably like low foot traffic or like it's harder to see for most people. Like you don't see that sign until you're on foot in that little area where
Yeah.
the bench is.
We could move the sign though.
Hmm.
We could put the sign somewhere more visible.
Neon.
Yeah. All right, I want to give you guys an update on the number 11 near the Darien Fire Department. I got pricing from Mason. I used the guy you recommended.
Oh, good.
So nice.
Right?
He's so nice.
Oh,
He gave me pricing. I put it in our budget request for next year. I spoke to Ed Gentile. He said, good, we're good to go. He's gonna speak or tell the state of Connecticut. I was like, is this an ask? He's like, no, basically I can just tell them we're doing this. So that's gonna happen. So we've got with a big caveat, I'm hoping we get the money for it.
How much was it?
$5,000. And we have to, what Ed would like for us to do.
Seems reasonable.
That's what I thought.
Is that for benches too?
Yes.
Did you tell them I referred you?
Yes, yes. It's
So
to
that's
stay
Flagstone
within the
and
same.
benches.
Flagstone and benches within the same footprint as before. Israel and I were like, oh my God, this would be so great. We had all these grand plans, but we reined it in.
Did you actually meet with them?
Yeah, yeah. I then hired him to do something in my house too.
I'm sure you
Yeah,
did.
he's like- Anyway, so I don't know when I find out if that's been approved or not, but if we find ourselves with an extra $5,000, then we can get that done. So that's the good news, is that we're actually approved to do it.
That's
As
exciting.
far as not budgeting, but as far as being allowed to do that on that property. Okay, let's move into hanging baskets, unless anything else in Adopt a Garden? Hanging baskets.
Did you get this?
No, thank you. Oh, yeah, I have this one. Thank you.
I added
Okay.
some stuff on the back.
Great.
So that's just the grand list of where, I kind of had to do a footprint. A few years back, Julianne and I walked all down the post road to count baskets and to see where the street signs were, because some you can't put double flowers on because it's street signs. And it was kind of hard too, because there was a lot of construction the first year we did it. So Juliet and I, did the best we could. And last year we were short on a couple baskets. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing, but we did singles instead of doubles on some of them. So this year we recounted them, and now that the construction is pretty much finished up in that whole post road zone, I think this is a more accurate. We added 20 to Corbin Drive, and that's 10 doubles as you go down Corbin Drive. And then we also added the one by Gopher was missing, and there's one that used to be by where those buildings were torn down. There was another one there. So we have to, we had to order some additional brackets this year. So that's in the works. And I said to Sarah, I said, I think I'm going to reach out to the businesses to see if we can get paid in advance, or at least maybe get half paid, earlier, so that we can put some money back into our budget. So, we know they're good for it. They've been good for it for every year. So that's about it. I ordered an additional 5 baskets, and as I said to the ladies before most of you got here, you go down Tokenique Road. I noticed there are lampposts with some brackets.
Oh,
So I'm thinking maybe we wrap around that corner and get those first couple of businesses.
Oh, so pretty.
Because we have 5 extra, we'll have about 5 extra baskets
well,
here.
that's great.
That's a lot of people use those walkways now too.
Yeah.
Much more than in the past.
Does that include the new trial baskets, or is that 5?
No, that's,
Of the general ones, okay.
yeah.
Just wonder where do you see the trial baskets?
Do we hang the trial? I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could hang them.
Well, I mean, we have to see, I think, how
Here at
they
town.
look really pretty. If
Yeah.
they look really pretty, maybe we hang some here at Town Hall so that, we can keep an eye on
Yeah.
what they're looking like.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's
you
true.
know, so we kind of have to figure out what we want to do, and I can send out the information from Beds and Borders. We had talked about verbena, maybe doing for trailing verbena.
Don't we
or-
need to tell them what we want
We
pretty
do.
soon?
Yeah. Yeah, so.
All right.
Let me reach out to Mary this week and see, put
I
our
think-
thoughts together.
My personal thought would just be if there's a variety of plants in it, I think that looks
Mhm.
kind of pretty. But I don't know, I'm not really.
Yeah,
Do you want all 4 to be the same, or do you want?
No,
I think
want
they
all
should
4
be
to be
different.
different?
I
Yeah,
think
we
they
can
should all
pick.
be different, so we see what looks nice,
yeah.
we like.
And if 2 are somewhat similar, we could use those here. I mean, I wouldn't want to do 2 totally different ones on either side of the front.
No,
But if, so anyway.
okay.
But I'm excited this year. I think the basket's going to be so pretty this year with the combination that's in them.
Anything that trails is so beautiful.
So pretty, I agree.
Yeah, so pretty. And I'll make the trailing stuff come out of these baskets too.
The urns.
Right.
You mean the urns?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The planters.
Yeah.
All right, anything else on hanging baskets?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, American flags on Darien Line Post. So this is new. It was brought to my attention by the Chamber of Commerce that they had reached out to Public Works about the flags because they needed them removed so that they could put the garlands up. And in the process of, I was told also that the flags were also in terrible shape. No one seems to be owning the flags, and so I went to again to Ed and Public Works, and we talked about this. Monuments and Ceremonies is saying it doesn't fall under them. But I don't know, I mean, it could possibly fall under us, it never has before.
Don't we have an American
But so,
Legion in town?
I don't know, so what I did is I put into our budget, just so it's not lost, because the flags got disposed of. So the flags that we have had in the past are now gone, and whomever was doing it is, I guess, no longer doing it. So I do think it's important for the town to have those.
When's the last time they were up? Veterans Day or?
No, they just got taken down. Oh, so probably, yeah, maybe it was.
And then when
Veterans
they
Day.
got taken down, they were thrown out.
They were disposed of. I got one because I wanted to know, I asked, can we at least have one? So what I did is I put in our budget a line item for the purchase of the flags. And I put a big asterisk next to it. We don't have to own this. In fact, someone else can do it, but I just want to make sure the town doesn't miss it. So Ed and I had a conversation about this. He agrees with me that it should probably be under Monuments and Ceremonies.
That's what I think.
Because they purchase flags, they order flags, they deal with flags. If they don't, I think it's gonna come under us, which is okay, in my opinion, because Ed said that regardless, he would install them. Take them up, and put them down. And to me, that seems like the most challenging part of the process.
Right.
So if we're doing the baskets and he's doing that for us anyway, he said he'd be happy to have the flags go up at the same time as the baskets.
So smart.
So that works, so that's fine. So it really just boils down to ordering the flags, and that is to be determined. So I'll keep you guys posted. There's nothing right now we need to do.
Do you remember how many flags?
She guessed about 150,
Uh-huh.
and they're 3x5s.
If
Yeah.
our basket count's 207, is the 150, how does that differ if we're
It's a
hanging?
good question. Well, the hanging baskets, we have 2 per pole, and we don't do all the poles. Like there are
Double,
lots
double
down.
because of signage.
There, signage, but also I was thinking, you would know better than me, but like, I don't think we do all the same poles as the flags. I think there are some that run down the post road over here where we don't do baskets. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly, and
I didn't pay much attention to where the flags were.
same.
Me
And
neither.
so, it might
I
be,
just knew they were there, but.
if it falls on us, it might require a little bit of figure it out.
Do they attach directly to the brackets, or is there like a stick?
There's a stick and there's a bracket that's
Did
attached.
they keep the sticks, or?
They did not keep the sticks, and unfortunately, I didn't get an example of a stick either. I know, to my knowledge, best of my knowledge. So
So we have to order flags and poles.
we have to order flags and poles, but not brackets. The brackets are in place.
Is monuments and ceremonies the same thing as statues?
I don't know, I know they're the ones who put on like the Memorial Day Parade and
This
the
one's different
Veterans Day
because my best friend is
ceremony.
on the statue committee, so I could like get a quick answer
Maybe
from
they
her,
are part of
but
that.
I don't think she does
Well,
that
Melissa,
kind of
last
stuff.
time you reached out to them,
I
she
did.
was on Monuments and Ceremonies.
That is her.
It was, well, I reached
It's
out
the
to.
right person.
So that was, you put me in touch with somebody, and then I reached out to the person that had responded to that question,
Mhm.
which was about, yes, the fire department. And that person, the person running Monuments and Ceremonies is the one I was communicating with.
Do you want me to ask them about the flags?
No need, because I've already done that.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate that. So, to be determined on what the town administrator decides, where to put it, in whose budget to put it, and we'll go from there.
Is that
You
something
should.
she could almost determine? Like if we do the legwork and say we need X amount and this is what they're gonna cost? I mean, either way, it's just how it's like funneling through.
I mean, that's my impression, it's
Seems like a one-time cost.
a one-time
capital-
cost,
Yeah.
and someone's gotta pay for it, even if it goes into ours and then goes back out. And then someone's gotta order the flags, that's the manpower part. Someone's gotta determine what flag
Yeah.
size and make
And,
sure
you
we have
know-
the right sticks. It's not the end of the world, which is why we can do it.
We do have a business Amazon account now through Town Hall,
Oh,
so there's no tax and we get
Okay.
bulk items and things. And I'm
Okay.
wondering if I can look and see,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
what they cost.
Well,
They've gotta be American made, they can't be.
I remember
flags
you
made in
saying
China.
that. I remember you saying that, so I looked it up.
Sorry,
They're approximately $40 to $50 online for like a good outdoor quality flag that's 3x5.
Mhm.
So,
So that's about 6,000 before sticks.
yeah,
And if they don't come with sticks?
we're gonna have to research
Okay.
it, yeah. So, it's a little bit, it's gonna be a little
And
work,
maybe
but-
that's something we can get the senior men's group to make the flagpoles.
Oh, that's a cute
I
idea.
don't know that they could make them by
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Oh, January, yeah.
When they,
I do believe the flags were doubled up.
They are, you're
Yeah.
correct, they're doubled
So
up.
wouldn't it be the same as our hanging basket count then? If we have some with double, or it actually would likely be higher then?
It would be higher than our hanging baskets. Depending,
The same.
Uh,
Because I think locations where we have one, it's due to like some sort of, road rule sign. So I would think it'd be around the same number.
Well, but the flags are just down the post road and also along the library, but that's it. Like they don't go,
Tilly Pond.
yeah, they're not in all
yeah,
those other
I
places.
mean, Tilly Pond's 30 baskets, so.
Right. Well, then
Yeah.
I think the
Right.
number would be whatever the post road count is.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
if this ends up
maybe-
falling under us, yeah, we'll
maybe
probably have to
Public
do a little
Works
extra
can
research.
give us a flag count. If
Yeah.
they put them up in the past.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Maybe
say.
somebody has that number.
Public Works must know because they put them up, right? They must know how many flags.
If they
No?
counted,
They're that
and if they recorded the
Oh.
count.
Okay.
I doubt they
Huh. Wow.
Anyway, something to,
Something to,
did. I would just do
Long
a
run.
rough number estimate and then just see
and
and
if
have
we
it
have enough, we
available,
have
like
enough.
to
If
order
not, we
more.
can do more next year, or
You know,
or put a
just-
second order in.
all right, exactly.
Just kind of go out and do a rough count where
Yeah.
they should be placed in.
Probably have to order by March, right? To have them in time for Memorial Day.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Well, Amazon's pretty fast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Leave them here.
It's more that, like, we won't have an extra $5,000-6,000 in our budget, so I've just gotta, there's gotta be some circle back around on that, so.
Who do you meet with when you need like a one-time capital? Yeah. Is it Grodzki?
No, it's actually, you put the
Request in.
capital request through with Jen and Kate,
Okay,
yeah.
so I put all this in with Jen, I was just gonna follow up with Jennifer Charneski. Once she I'm sure she's just been
really
receiving, I'm
inundated.
sure
What's
she's
her role?
been, she's the director of finance for the town. So I figured she's just busy, so I'm just letting you guys know, there will have to be some follow-up on it, but I think we have a few months to.
What size are they?
3x5. Okay, next item, unless anybody has anything else on that. Next item is Norotan Heights train station. Juliet sent out an
Mhm.
email, I don't know who saw it. It was a
I went
photo,
with her.
There's a plea.
it was a photo of the pollinator garden that we had put in at Norotan Heights train station that got dug up. Yeah, that's gone. So I spoke to Ed about this again, Public Works,
Did not.
and his response was that he apologized. He said, unfortunately, he didn't realize it was a planted garden, and he gave the instruction to dig it up. And he was very apologetic, and he'd like to make it right. So in the spring, he'll make it right and get it replaced.
Will that now be grass or cement, like a median, or is it gonna be planted? Do you know?
It's just all dirt.
Yeah.
Right now it's dirt, and I think his comment was, we'll make it right. So I think we
I think when we were there, it was very sort of scattershot,
Uh-huh.
random. It wasn't captured in the, I think people didn't realize that it went the other side.
That's correct.
So that's when, the Garden Center, others, Nielsen's recommended we do some sort of symmetry. They
Okay.
had everything in the notes about how
Right.
they would treat that and move those pollinators over to there's like that little spot where right now there's roses where I think it's Mansfield and Post sit, and we were thinking about maybe moving them in the back there, because otherwise they kind of obscure all the other things. They were taking over at the train station and obscuring some other important decorative flowers, so
Okay,
it's not an ideal place to have pollinators.
okay,
There's a lot of other spots near trains.
Yes.
that, even over this underpass or, like, is that Tokenique Road? A better spot for them than the train station, where it just looked really messy.
okay. And also Ed was concerned about the height of that things will
Yeah.
grow too.
Yes.
I also worry a tad about having these public spaces with a lot of pollinator stuff for bees and
Bees.
Right.
stuff. I know, people getting stung. So,
So it's not the end of the world that happened.
okay.
And I think
And he
they were
was very
thinking about-
apologetic.
yeah.
He said, he was like, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
It
And
looks
so-
like it's abandoned.
Yeah.
I see why someone would think that.
Yeah, yeah, so he was, so we'll have to address that.
I
in
think the
spring.
sign was stolen, wasn't the sign stolen?
Yeah, the sign from the other side was
But there was
stolen.
never one
And
on
there was
that.
never
There was
one
a
on
second
that
side, but it was on the other
patch.
side.
Well, we did spend a lot of money though, putting plants in there.
Yeah, just what, like a year and a half ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if we get that number, we can
A year
apply
ago,
it towards
yes.
new
Right.
plantings, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Town hall planters, we've already covered. Art council, I wanted to fill you in about this. I actually am just gonna send you guys an email with an explanation. Sorry, I haven't done that yet. But I actually ran into Kristen Edwards. I don't know if you guys know her. She has an art business in town. And she was like, oh, I'm so glad to run into you. I was just meeting with David Genovese. And I've been talking about building this art council, and he told me that you guys have been pondering with the idea of maybe doing something in town. Yeah, and so she's putting together this whole art council and really trying to put this whole group together that can be really thoughtful about what we can do in town and yeah. So I just said, well,
Yeah,
we
wanna
haven't
do that.
done.
We'll do that.
We wanna go.
Okay, great. So anyway, I said, well, just please keep us in the loop. Like, we haven't made any strides in anything. In fact, we're working in another major initiative right now, so we haven't put a lot of focus on it, but we'd love to be involved. So that's that. So I just thought it was great.
Maybe some of the locations that are larger would be potential sites for an installation,
That's true too.
right? Like
Yeah.
exit 13, where they have
Yeah.
all that space, like maybe that's a
Yeah.
spot where they could have
Yeah,
something.
that would be very neat, actually. Yeah,
US
great.
heavy duty.
Okay, great. $19, perfect. Love it.
Save
Love it,
$30.
love it. Okay, so that's the art council, number 12.
I just found a couple, all the new, white town signs that have been replaced. I noticed a couple about a month ago that were still sitting as the old ones, so I reached out to him. They were just ones that are missed. So he's ordered one, it's under Roten near exit 10, and then exit 11 will be ordered. And then, so exit 11 is when you're getting off from northbound and you're sitting there facing like Soke-Ree and the art gallery. It's one of the old faded, big welcome to Darien signs. And then I did get in touch with him regarding the exit 11 southbound. It's the sheet metal sign posted on a wooden, the old wooden post, because the old sign was wood, and he said it is staying like that. So, FYI.
Exit 11 south. Is that facing Whole Foods?
Yes.
Wait, but isn't that David's spot?
It's welcome
No,
to
no.
Darien,
It's
the town signs.
when you're on northbound and you exit at exit 11, right? When you're
Yeah,
on-
where we cut down the old pine tree that was dead.
So is it going south or north?
Oh, I was
Coming from
thinking,
the north.
South, going
I'm
going
sorry,
south.
yeah, you're getting off on the south, so you're sitting
Facing
there
Whole
waiting
Foods.
to either, go straight to Whole
Oh.
Foods or left under the bridge.
oh my bad.
So why do we have to keep that sign there? If that's
Well, it's brand new, I'm just sharing that they put a sheet metal sign on a wooden post. It doesn't look great, but their plan is to keep it. I think they repurposed, because it used to be a wood sign there. And the new sign they ordered is sheet metal, so they kept the wood posts, they put the sheet metal up, and there's old like brackets that, it just doesn't like fit the new sign.
Oh, right, wasn't that something that had to do with money during
COVID.
COVID?
Well, that's, yeah, how they paid for,
That's how
they
they
probably
paid.
ordered like 20-some new signs, and they all look really good. That's why the two that didn't get replaced stood out, and then that's why, to me, the sheet metal on the wooden posts stood out, because it looks very not great.
Commercial.
It just doesn't fit. If you look, there's, I think on that one, because the sign was so much more substantial, it covered up a lot of mechanics behind it, and now you can see them, because it's just a smaller, thinner sign.
Yeah. I don't know that there's much we can do right
No.
now, unfortunately, but we'll just keep it in mind that
What if a sponsor wanted to
that's the thought.
purchase a new one?
Maybe, that's right. We'll just keep that in our back of our
Okay.
minds.
They'd probably have to go through P and Z
Yeah.
P-
Did
planning
you?
zoning?
Looking all
Yeah.
morning.
for signage, yeah.
Wait, did we used to have an old one? A wood one before?
Yes.
So do you, if we had an old one and we're just going back to the old one, do you still?
I don't know, but I have a feeling that P and Z would just want to put their blessing on it. I think commercial signs like that have to go through P and Z.
Yeah, I don't know
The
that a
signage.
private citizen could
Yeah,
buy it.
they'd have to get approval, so that would
Yeah.
be my thought, yeah.
It's too bad. I feel like we should be
They could
involved in
buy it.
signs, but we
They've
haven't
got
been
it.
involved in
Mhm.
signs.
That's a not super easy process.
Bureaucracy never is.
I have to go.
Okay,
So you
any
take a
additional new business for anybody?
Did we already take the picture?
No, we didn't take
Oh,
a
no, we need to
picture.
take a picture. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the lady gonna take?
So should we adjourn, any additional new business? No? All right, we'll adjourn. The time is, 10:05. Thank you very much, everybody.